Hello everyone. Happy, what is it, Tuesday. So as of today, Tuesday, December 30th, 2025, I want to check in and see what is the future of the Heritage Foundation and Project 2025. And now that I know more about where Project 2025 came from, I can combine the two. Because Kevin Roberts is the president of the Heritage Foundation, and he's the one who's one of the authors, the main authors of Project 2025, along with Russell Vogt, and I think a little Stevie Skeevy Miller had his part in it, and several others. And so basically, their intention is to just take over everything and give all the powers of the DOJ, the FBI, the FTC, the Homeland Security, Department of Education, what else? All of our, the health, National Institutes of Health, get rid of that and take away all the environmental regulations and reduce taxes on corporations, cut Medicare and Medicaid. Trying to think what else. Basically, everything that's wrong with what's going on. All these people who lost their, federal jobs, their position, and then they're the ones that are to blame for all the anti-LGBTQ discrimination, the DEI, the racism, the deportation, all under the guise of it being the Christian right. My God. There, now I feel better. So, what is the future of Heritage Foundation and Project 2025? And I'm going to push it out to beyond I want to see basically after the midterms, and then moving into the 2028 election. What is the truth? Oh, okay. So the sitch is all about a lack of success. Nobody wants what they're dishing out. This is people being depressed. This is the breakdowns of society. That's at the center of their future. And so this is them. I don't think that they're going to have a lot of success. The challenge with Queen of Cups coming through, of course, this is our Pam Bondi card, but this is, I got a meditation years ago. The Queen of Cups is about honoring all that is sacred, which is children and families. How do you have families with these people? These people are, this taking away a woman's right to their health care, so that, if God forbid, she might need a DNC after she has a miscarriage, and oh no, in at least 14 states, you can't even get that. So that's their main challenge. It's also the manipulation of the feminine, the manipulation of women. This has to do with a major chronic imbalance, right? And it just doesn't, it's not going to get better with these kinds of people. This is their, if you get into it, really, let's really get into it. Let's get into Kevin Roberts and the monster and Russell Vogt and I'm forgetting all these other people that are just awful. and Pam Bondi and Kash Patel and all of them. Let's get into the fact, and hey, let's throw Putin in there because we know he's a part of this problem. They really have penis problems. They really have issues with women that stem from their issues with their mothers. That's really the problem. That's what's fueling the whole thing. So, codependency is another part of it. Weak boundaries is another part of it. So, okay. Where they're sitting, what they're stewing in, can we stir that pot? Can we put more heat under that fire? They're not going to get what they want, or they're not getting what they want currently, because this is where they currently are. And this is where they do have some control if they were to try to make any changes. But this has a problem with the main issue here is, what about autistic children? What about neurodivergent children? What about anybody who, is not being nurtured? With the Four of Cups reversed, this is our moon in Cancer card. The full moon is coming up on January 2nd at 13 degrees of Cancer, right on the, oh God, I did a whole, I haven't put it into a video yet, and I don't know if I'll get time, but I was looking at our Independence Day chart. So the sun is at 13 degrees on that day. Now, the full moon happens at about 13 degrees of Cancer about every couple of years. So that's not a big deal. But all the other aspects going on is a big deal. And I'm not going to go into it right now. So I feel there's all this Cancer energy. And then what's his face? Kevin Roberts, the president of the Heritage Foundation and the dude who wrote the Mandate for Leadership. Yeah, mandate, right, sure. You can't even lead your own friggin' life, and you're gonna write a wet dream about what you think the world is supposed to be like. Well, yeah, we have different ideas. So with that in mind, just remember, he's a sun sign Cancer. He's on the dark side of Cancer that doesn't want any change. Got to go back to the past. He's probably some kind of a reincarnated slave master, who lost in the Civil War. Anyway, Four of Cups reversed. If I dive any deeper into it, the only thing I can come up with right now is that they're just totally out of balance. They have issues within their own, there's no connection to their inner feminine at all. And they're going to have to open up to some new ways of being, right? But meanwhile, they're stuck in their numbness and their apathy, which that's how a person can be cruel. You got to be numbed out to be cruel, right? And you got to be numb to be in apathy. If you don't care, right? Okay, their recent past, well, with the Ten of Pentacles reversed, yeah, there's family feuds going on. This is them going bankrupt. This is the Heritage Foundation going bankrupt. Okay, nice inheritance, dudes. And it also could be a big old health event with who? Yeah, that guy. What's hanging over them, of which they have no control, is put a fork in that guy, and their confusion, their lies, their false need to have the last word and win and blah blah blah, and it's this mofo's Sharpie pen, and none of it is where all these executive orders are gonna be overturned as soon as the next president gets in. So okay, we'll see how that goes. but their inability to communicate effectively, because what they're communicating from is nothing but hatred. Okay. Their near future, and I might use the Kipper with this one too, but their near future, I mean, it's slow going. It's they do have some efficiency going on, though. You know, they do have people working hard to get this going through. Well, let's see how it goes for them. On the inner levels, they're feeling defensive, and you know, this card, the Nine of Wands, is our card for you got to have some faith with your long-term goals, and they're resilient now because they think they've got it going on, but they're also tired, and they're also almost done. They may not know it. On the outer levels, with the Three of Swords reversed, well, they might be having to release some pains of self-hatred and self-betrayal and betrayal period out of their hearts, you know. But this mostly is a card of seclusion. When I get the Four of Swords reversed, I'm like, oh, it's gone beyond like feeling sad and rejected and blah, 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 whatever, you know. Heartbreak, well, you know, you got to have an open heart to have it break, right? Well, they're not doing any of that. So to me, this is all about them kind of hiding, you know, in the outer levels. Like, oh no, we didn't have that plan. Oh no, we didn't mean that. You know, if their plan were fully implemented, they would even want to take away porn. Oh boy. So, you know, I have no judgment over any of that, but I bet you a lot of other people do. Goodness. Let's keep going here. So then, oh boy, out into the distant future, this of course would be, you know, this moron in here, Mr. Bent Broken Drumpf, which is what his last name really means. That this would be his pathological lying, and he's on his head, and none of them can communicate correctly because what they have underneath is just the fact that they're a bunch of scam artists, right? So it's not going to work out for them in the long distant future. But the outcome, meanwhile, until this whole thing gets what am I doing? Look through the viewfinder here. The outcome, I don't like this outcome, except for the fact that it's our card. Well, when it's reversed, it's somebody that's easy to bribe. We know Trump is easy to bribe, so how about I just, you know, chalk it up to I'm not going to be a perfect human to be able to get the cards upright and reversed. And this probably was supposed to be reversed. But then it would play into more the, you know, this is the mogul, you know, this is Trump. That's what Secret Service calls him. This is his financial mismanagement. The dude's Mr. Pay to Play, you know, fake POTUS, stole the friggin' election. Easy to bribe, like I said, and all he's doing is just, you know, taking and taking and taking and hoarding and hoarding and hoarding. And yeah, he's going to be successful, or they already all have, because they've got their hand in the, you know, in there. They're working for that. It's all just a ploy to make money, and they're all getting a piece of the action. Yeah, but is there a good future for them? I would say no. Let's see what's at the bottom. Page of Pentacles reversed and the Hierophant. Yeah, with the Page of Pentacles reversed, we're in the realm of bad news, especially financial news. We're in the realm of health issues. We're in the realm of insecurities, all of that. And coupled with the Hierophant, this has to do with, like, do people really believe? No, not with the pathological liar that's in the position of putting in more fake gold, making the White House, what's left of it, what he hasn't torn apart, making it look like Russia, Putin's playhouse. And then meanwhile, he's got because of all of his neurological disorders and his inability to think straight, he's got the White House official, like, posts of papers like, this way to the Oval Office, because he gets lost, right? Do we believe in that anymore? No. And people who are having a really hard time being abused under the guise of Christianity? No. So I don't see this as looking good with the tarot, but I'm gonna use this deck here, the Kipper. And on another level too, besides that King of Pentacles being Trump, you know who else it could be is Stephen Miller, because he's a Virgo. The King of Pentacles is all earth signs, so Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. So Stephen Miller's in there. So is, what's his face? RFK Jr. He's also a Capricorn. Or he's a Skeevy Miller's a Virgo. RFK Jr. is a Capricorn. Jared is a Capricorn. But I'm thinking it's more Skeevy Miller in there. Okay. Heritage Foundation. How's it going to go? Between now and midterms and out into 2028. Right there. All right. This has to be, I am thinking, what's her face? Pam Bondi. Yeah, she might have some leveling off going on with her. Something new that comes through. Yeah, reputation. Maybe, this card's too old for Alien Canon, so I'm just gonna leave it at Pam Bondi. But let's keep it going. All right. Now, I don't know what women are involved in the, what's her face? Department of Education bitch. I can't remember her name. Linda McMahon, Secretary of Education. That could be her, because we've got the kids up here. Her reputation, her honor. Okay, but overall, the organization of the Heritage Foundation, okay. This has to be Kevin Roberts because he's the president. Well, or he might be the main man if the main man comes through. Oh. Okay. Ruh-roh. Strategy. Restriction. Yeah, you got some money. You took the risk. Risk it to get the biscuit, right? Okay, so secrets. If I take away this being a person, this card has to do with women who hold confidence for secrets and confidence for the other people in power. There's evidence against her there could be recordings about trips. And then this is also a card of the journey card, and the Kipper is also about something coming full circle. Okay. She's been loyal. Whoever this woman is very loyal to the cause. There are rules and regulations, but it's also, this is a card of, it's official. That their plan would put America in crisis, and already has. And especially, but a lot of them I think are there. If this is a person, this could also be somebody who really supports the, the AI BS. Whomever she is as a person, and I really do get that feeling of what's her face, Linda McMahon, like there's something in there. Maybe she's gifted them a lot of money because she's backed up by a lot of security. The mature man, we probably could just say it's all well, they're not really mature, but the elder man, anybody over 50, we could put them all in this category. And they have their mental illnesses because of their narcissism. Same thing, mental illness. Now, this card up here, it has to do with under 50, but it's also my card for, legal, like attorneys. So they have a legal strategy, and this is like the clan of the Heritage Foundation, literally. This would be their card. This is their reputation. Something's going to come full circle, but down here, it's, they're like, what are we doing? They're depressed, and they can't concentrate, and they're insecure. And it was all about the money. Like if I just frame it in with the four corners here, it was all about the money, getting the money. But there's this courthouse card has to do with a trial that brings out evidence. These are subpoenas. This is the message card here. That's why I always say ruh-roh. These are subpoenas that will restrict gifts, monetary gifts. I mean, there are only 4 money cards in the deck, and we have 1, 2, 3 of them. Yeah, we're just missing that one with the hands, like the gift giving. Oh, look at this one. Oh, here's the other one. The giving of the gift. Yeah. Well, I don't know. This would have to be Kevin Roberts. He may run off to another country at some point because there's something that he's been giving. Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I'm venturing to guess he's part of the transnational money laundering crime syndicate. Yeah. But, so there's something that will come out, and the legal strategies, I don't think will save them, because what's going to come out is the fact that they're all just in it for the take. They're just on the take. That's the only reason they did it, is to lower their corporate taxes and suck monies that would be available to Americans who are the ones paying the taxes, right? Like, these idiots forget that they work for us. Well, they're trying to take us out of the picture because of AI, and they think that that, they don't care whether we have jobs or not. And they don't care if the whole world's run by robots, and then that way they think they make more money, but they're so stupid that they're not doing the friggin' math. Without people, without women having children, without families being together as a unit, without having a healthy mom and a dad and nurturing children, there's no more people to work, and and that will pay taxes. Robots aren't going to pay taxes. I mean, do they think, am I missing something, you guys? Let me know. Am I missing something? I could be. It could be that they're figuring out all kinds of other ways to make money just off of, I mean, why else are they trying to poison us and take away all the land and buy up all the land and then ruin the water and cause environmental problems and all of that with these data farms? That's where the AI is going towards, joblessness and data farms. So, but I'm seeing a trial and restriction, and this woman here at the center has a lot of secrets, and she has gifted money, and her reputation is going to come full circle. Bad health is hanging over her. So is she going to give up information? It could be that, because she's got control over information. Maybe she's going to have like a crisis of consciousness, and we'll just have to wait and see. And I'm not sure who she is now. I have learned over the years that any of the people cards, there's 6 of them in the deck, they can be the stand-in for several people. So if you think she's somebody, and you name her in the comments, you're going to be right, probably, And then the privileged lady is somebody, usually over 18, of at least of legal age, and then up to 50. This gal is 50 and above. The child, of course, is under 18. So if we were looking at it in like a family situation, this would be the mom and this could be the grandma, the mom, and the daughter, right? Or it could be even older sister, younger sister, and a granddaughter, things like that. Or any other child in the family. So, yeah. And then same thing with the man, this guy under 50, this guy over 50, like I said before. And the child card does not have to be a little girl. This actually is, so it's Ciro Marchetti that created this deck, and this is a picture of his daughter when she was little. Her name's Sasha, and she actually is the one that helps him run the business. So, okay, I can't get anything else, I don't think. Even with the mirroring and the knighting, I'm just saying, I'm just getting that it's going to come full circle. They have mental illness. If the house card is America wants a change. And nobody wants, I'm not getting that they want, because there's restriction here. I wouldn't have had this card come through. And whether or not somebody's in prison, sometimes this card is just about secrets that come out. Like she's holding secrets, or these women are holding secrets, but this card has to do with the secrets coming out, right? Because of the gift there. And this could all have to do with Epstein files, right? Because, yeah. And again, evidence. Yeah. So secrets, restriction, maybe somebody goes to prison. Maybe it's Pam Bondi because of the DOJ. because, and reading on her, I've gotten that before. Believe it or not, she's 60. Yeah, what a way to spend your second Saturn return. If it's facing prison, I'm here for it. Anything else? Yeah, no, I think I've covered it. I can't think of another thing to say. Thanks for joining me. Happy season, holiday season. We're still moving into New Year's Eve. And if you're still listening now, please join me Thursday. I'll be on New Year's Day with my psychic medium friend, Gloria. And if you have any questions, add it to the in the post section. And yeah, I have to cut the questions off tomorrow afternoon though, or about noontime tomorrow. So, okay, bye.